Good morning, Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. Huh, what can I say? You know what? There are a few questions, and this is one of them, that you need to understand before you even ask here in the Philippines. And what I mean by that is simply whether it's asking a girl where do they live or figuring out where you're going to live. You need to understand the definitions of those. And we're going to talk about that today.
Why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
Oh my. So, there's a lot of nomenclature and verbiage that gets tossed around. People define things the way they want, it seems. They try and make the definitions of their local country fit the definitions of words here. And times that gets lost in translation. So we're going to go through that, and then we're going to give you our personal opinion, because for some of you, it's going to make a big difference. Now, before I do that, please, if you find that our information is rewarding, if it's satirical, if it's funny, if it's informative, then please help support the channel by simply subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe and hit that thumbs up. We would certainly appreciate it. Okay. When you are, especially for you expats that are, because there's so many of you that are still in long distance relationships, and you're trying to define where somebody is and what that type of living situation is. And even for you guys that meet women here, many of them are not from where you actually meet them. You may want to know, in fact, you should know where they are from. All right. Then there's the only definition that matters is where that you want to be. And that term gets tossed around, especially the one, I want to live in the big city or I want to live in the province. Well, we're going to talk about that, but first we're going to look at how the Philippine government itself defines locations. All right. So if we just jump over here, there we go. In the Philippines, they define things by provinces. All right. They further define them by cities, municipalities, barangays, villages, and towns, and even furthermore. Like, for instance, in Mindanao, where we live, all right, we live in a province, all right, but it's a big, big place. And within that province, there are cities and towns. So, if you meet a girl and they say they're from one place, well, that doesn't necessarily mean, because some of the provinces have cities named directly after the province. Then within where we live in our city, because Kitchenerau is considered a city. Oh, how that works, I just don't know. All right. But there are barangays. And then under the barangays, there are actually smaller units called parokes. All right. So I think we live in Paroque 5 or Paroque 6 of our barangay. Now, it doesn't matter to you or most of you how all of this works. And I can't find any literature, anything from the government that actually defines some sort of formula for what's the difference between a village, a city, a town. But then I started to figure a couple of other things out. And when I did, I figured out it makes absolutely no sense. All right. So we're going to give you our definition, what we use. And it's going to be different from a lot of people. People are not going to be happy with it. People aren't going to agree with it. But when you ask a girl, where are you from? Well, I'm from Pampanga. All right. Well, Pampanga has a lot of different places. I mean, they could say I'm from Luzon, or I'm from Samar, or something like that. Within that, there are subdivisions. Like, so in Pampanga, there are provinces. Well, actually, Pampanga is a province, all right? And then there are cities. And under those cities, all right, there are also, not under the city, but aside from that, there are towns. And then there are villages, okay? So when you talk to your young lady, okay, when you're trying to figure out where you might be visiting, you might want to find out a little bit deeper understanding of where it is. And then there's the issue of living in the province. Now, living in the province can mean so many different things because Pampanga, all right, is a province, period. And it's got some big cities within it, and towns. So when you think about the province, don't think about some dirt road alongside the jungle. Although it might be, it certainly could be. But when you talk to somebody, you may want to find out, can you define that? I mean, Pampanga is big, more of a village or a town. Oh, I live in the city of, in the province of Pampanga. All right. Well, do I really live in the province, though? This is the question that gets confused a lot. This is what men generally get confused on, or it just goes over their head because they just don't know. It's not that they're stupid. It's just that they don't know. What you have to consider is, what is the province? What's your definition? In your mind, what is your definition of the province? Okay. So, for instance, let's go back to where we live in Mindanao. So we have the condo here in Angeles City, and it is a city, okay? It has all the traits, hallmarks of a city, good and bad, all right? But in Mindanao, we live in the province. Now, we live in the city of Kitcheneroo. It has a local government unit. It has a mayor. It has government services, etc. But to what extent? Now, let's think about that. I would say I live in a city, okay? What would be your definition of a city? What would be the things you need for that to be a city? And so now I have to go into the part that people are going to disagree with. And that is that the services of a city, the size of a city, the population of a city. Okay? I don't consider Kitcheneroo to be a city, personally. But that's not how it's defined. I don't consider Kitcheneroo to be even, I guess I would consider it a town. All right, not a city. There is no traffic lights in the town of Kitcheneroo. There are no McDonald's. There are no Jollibees. All right. When you don't have the two most prevalent fast food chains in the entire country. In your town, does that make it a city? All right. Is it now the province? But we do have paved roads. We do have city water 4 hours a day and a huge, terrible, terrible pressure. We could never have that city water. We have electric, but it's not city electric. It's from a cooperative that serves the entire province that we live within. We don't have a 24/7 hospital. We don't have a full-time physician, even when the small hospital that has so limited services is there. So, do we live in the province? Yes. Yes, I think we live in the province by the term and definition that foreigners think of the province. They think of very rural, small, underdeveloped situations. Now, we have plenty of functioning businesses. There are bakeries, there are vulcanizing shops, there are garages, there's real estate offices, we have 2 banks, I think. I think there's 2 banks there. You have places that do money transfers, a couple of those, water stations, all kinds of things. But in the end, it's the province to me. For us, it's the province. So when you start to talk about and understand where you're going to go or where you might go, or where you are going to end up with this young lady that you've been chatting with, get a deeper idea. Does she live in a specific town or a village? Okay. And sometimes the easiest way is just to ask her, what's the mailing address? Okay. I don't know. There might be other ways. But my point here has been and is understand where you go. And then number 2, understand that the answers you get may not align themselves with the answers that you hear from many other people. Okay? Some people live in the province, but it's not the province by any way, shape, or means. It's more of a municipality. It has a mall. It has more than one mall sometimes. It has fast food. It has full-time medical services. That's not, in many people's minds, the province. The provinces are large areas, and they can have cities, towns, and even municipalities within them. So get a deeper understanding. That's all we're saying. All right. If you found this even slightly interesting, we're great. I mean, we're happy that we did something. Otherwise, we'd like to tell you, have a great day.